2023 is the Sumo's Sweet 16. That's right, it's coming of age, and it's a relatively young, modern Seiko diver, unlike the ancient Trinity, 62 MAS, MM300, and the Willards. And this modern Seiko is now on its third generation. Introducing the all-new Seiko Sumo SPB321, new and improved with its super hard coating. However, there are some negatives. When we looked at the 2007 model, it had one thing that every modern Seiko fan asks for and complains about: a signed Seiko crown.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
So the second and this new generation lost the iconic signed Seiko S. However, it's still my favorite style of crown, that beautiful coarse cog knurling, and like all sumo crowns, the action is flawless. Coming in at a big 7mm, it screws down perfect every time, giving the Sumo 200 meters ISO 6425 water resistance. Now it's not all bad. The second gen we looked at on the channel, it had an upgrade from the first gen, and this one is no different. A sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside. So that's a good thing. And there is more good news. That bezel insert has been upgraded to ceramic, but that's not the best part. I remember when I reviewed the second gen, I said I wish they made the font a little bit thinner, and from the first and second gen, they actually trimmed that font. But on this one, they trimmed it even further. The font is now neat and tidy. We did lose the three-dimensional aspect of that aluminum insert with that bevel on the inner ring, which I do kind of miss. Now, speaking of that bezel, how does it feel and how does it sound? The clicks are more precise than your typical Seiko bezel, but it still has a relatively soft, dampened feel. I like it, I really do. The case, exact same from first, second, and third gen. Gorgeous, curvaceous, exotic car look. It is a deep cushion case. It's going to sink into your wrist. The divots, or inside of the lugs, are high polish. And then we got beautiful brushing on the top that travels all the way down to those faceted tips. The faceted tips are 7-sided, some brushing and some polish, very intricate and stunning to look at. The sides are completely high polish with the cushion, except for a laser sharp, thin line of brushing. Man, this case is cool. I love the high polish shoulders on the mid case that covers the bezel on the 3 and 9 o'clock. It looks so good. Now, speaking of the case, what are the dimensions? I got 45mm in diameter, secret measurement 42.2, a thickness of 13.4 if you include the Seiko Tsunami Wave dimple. If you don't, 12.9. We got drilled lugs and a lug-to-lug of 52 even. So that's a long reach, but don't fret, it wears great even on smaller wrists. Now the bracelet is a little bit of a downgrade for me. The first and second gen were female end links, now it's a male end link. I think when I reviewed the first gen or second gen, I said imagine this thing with male end links. And they did it. They imagined it and they did it. But on a positive note, they do at least curve downwards aggressively. So it's 20mm, tapering down to 18. It's completely brushed, no more high polished flanks on the mid link. The clasp is upgraded, still 4 micro adjusts, fully milled this time, so I don't mind the all brushed look on the bracelet. I just wish they kept the female end links. Now that dial, man, it looks good. It's got a textured gradient wave pattern. It just looks phenomenal, and it works so well. It's a match made in heaven. We got a deep ocean blue that fades to black, and that white printed Seiko logo just pops. We got the Prospex Automatic Divers 200 in white. You know what I think they should have done? Take the Prospex X off the dial, because so many people complain about that, and put the Prospex X on the crown. That way you get the signed crown and you get the Prospex X, but not on the dial. Everyone is happy. What do you guys think of that idea? The hands are the typical Sumo hands. They haven't changed, which is a good thing. And there's no red stoplight seconds hand, which some people are going to like. It's a very cohesive look, and this thing is so heavy with all the links, 190 grams. So when you're wearing this watch, you're wearing a deadly weapon. All right, so keep that in mind. So how much is the Sumo going to set you back? This one, 1,200 USD, available at Kavar Jewelers. Now, I also have this one. I'll probably show a little bit of macros on the Patty version. It's the SPB321 and it's actually $1,050. So $150 less, but you're not getting the bracelet. Yeah, I think I'd go with this one. My favorite Sumo, I think it's going to be the SPB175 or any of the ice divers, the green and blue, the 7.9, the 7.7, because they got the aluminum insert and the female end links. They have the press class, but who cares? And those are 900 right now. Since the second gen, the Sumo has been powered by the 6R35, and this one is running when I divide both positions at roughly 10 seconds a day. It has 70 hours of power reserve. It's hacking and hand winding, and yes, it's a low beat 21.6 VPH. So definitely not COSC certified, but well within the rated specs. Now let's check out the loom. Seiko Lumabrite is very powerful. This one is applied on top of those pressed indices, and even though it's a thin layer, it does okay. Has Seiko done enough? Do you guys miss the S on the crown? Does it really mean hope? And if you liked this video, I got 2 more on the right of your screen that you will love, and I'll see you in the next one.